Morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastic today. Well, I today wanted to talk about the fact that we have a choice. We have a choice to be puny-minded or to be insightful in life. I'm not going to get into the semantics of it and what it means to be smart or dumb or intelligent. And I'm definitely not talking about book smarts. Nor am I saying that every person has the capacity to be aware and conscious and making an effort towards making decisions based on reality in life rather than their hopes or what ifs, or even worse, their misconceptions about life. You know, we all often have an argument with someone. I guess I could come up with an example would be earlier I saw a video where I was watching this fellow that did this interview with the guy who he was a scientist who runs this creationist museum where they show humans walking alongside dinosaurs. And they claim, the guy was asking him, he's like, how can you call yourself a scientist? And everything science says goes against what you're saying here. How can you believe it? And the guy says, well, whenever science can't answer a question for me, I go to the Bible. And, this is a pretty rational guy. The guy's considered a scientist. And he's easily swaying not his people, but people of his religion, because he's created something that looks so convincing. There's a degree of reason a person has to have where they have to be able to sort through things. So I think we owe it to ourselves to be as aware as possible. In other words, comparing all the options and the what ifs to the what is in life. And I think most people have the potential to carry these smarts, to be, let's say, part of the solution instead of the part of the problem. But we often choose to blanket our fears in hopes and dreams, such as religion, because we're afraid of dying, or we believe someone has this super awareness that can teach us things about ourselves that we don't know, merely because they appear to be a certain thing, or they act a certain way. For example, I've had people ask me questions about life, what should they do in their lives? Merely because I'm coming across as a person who knows what I'm talking about to them. And I tell them quickly, I don't know shit. I'm just a human. I'm living in the same conditions and the same reality in life as you are. I've just taken it upon myself to look at things my way, and at the same time not let my way get in the way of reality. So when I talk about being smart and where people owe it to themselves to be honest and be straight up, straightforward, I'm not talking about book smarts at all. I'm not talking about academics. One of my smartest friends never even made it through junior high. He can't spell hardly at all, and he's super intelligent. He understands life and how to enjoy it. We are here as eyes of the world, as these creatures to experience, regardless of whether you believe we were brought here or put here or just existed or evolved. None of that matters. The fact is, us as humans, our default mode is to explore and to experience. And we may disagree about the details of life. Some people may think that it's just a fluke. Some people may think that it has a purpose. But we can all agree that the most fulfilling life a person can live is when you're living it with truth and honesty to yourself, as well as putting forth your best foot and making your best effort to be honest, but also be fair. But most importantly, to experience, to enjoy your life. I've talked to a lot of folks, or at least observed a lot of folks who claim to have it figured out. Let's say the people who have these particular belief system or whatnot, that they'll tell others that, you're going to be miserable unless you follow this way of living or this way of living. And then I see the people that they're trying to convince, and these people are out here enjoying their lives, having fun, exploring, hiking, traveling, doing things. And here's a guy sitting in his basement telling him, if you want to be complete, you have to believe this. Belief never did anything for a person's happiness. All it does is allows us to give a rhyme and a reason to something that's a little more complicated. And I've wrestled with this all my life. Do I fool myself into thinking that, there's some Christian God watching over me so I can feel comfortable? Or do I go on to say that there's a possibility, but there's also a possibility that it's all just for naught, that the universe did evolve by random chance? I have to give fair attributes to both sides. I have to give fair credibility to both sides, but neither side really matters. That's the point. It doesn't matter whether you believe that we're just a mutation or you believe that we're divine beings. The core experience is experience. I heard one of the guys I subscribed to, Aaron Gok, he was talking about, I can't know how he pronounces it. He was talking earlier about how it's hard to remember even 2 days ago because life is just such a repeating pattern. And I was thinking, I know what I was doing 2 days ago, but that's only because I was experiencing something. And if you're experiencing and doing something, those memories carry with you. If you're stuck in the same routine all your life, it doesn't matter what you believe or what you think or how happy you think you are. You gotta get your hands dirty. You really do. You gotta get your hands dirty, and not just physical labor in any way, shape, or form. I'm talking, you've got to get your hands dirty, you got to get your mind dirty, you've got to look through everything, you got to analyze your deepest, darkest desires and passions and thoughts, and ask yourself why things are the way they are. Doesn't mean you have to have the answers, doesn't mean you'll ever get the answers, but you have to be open in order for the answers to come. You have to ask the question first, what do I want? And for me, that is experience. That is life, living life. My family is wonderful. My children are wonderful. My wife is wonderful. I get to grow cannabis and do things that I love. But all of this is combined is what makes me happy. It's no one thing or another. I could never attach to one particular idea and be happy. It's like a combination of everything in life, the experience of everything in life. The culmination of all my, not efforts, but patience maybe. And I don't have any great expectations about life. I just let it play out. And often it works out for the better. Actually, it usually works out for the better. You're just riding with the tides. You still got to put down your anchor once in a while. I mean, you can't just float in and out of life. I think there's a misconception there that people think that you just let life take you where it goes. No, you have to direct it. You have to kind of push it. Think of it as a skateboard, okay? You got to give it a push now and again, but it generally cruises along on its own. And whichever way you turn and sway is the way that your skateboard's going to go. And you don't have to put forth much effort. With that analogy, I could say once you're going downhill, you better be able to put the brakes on. You better know how to power slide to slow yourself down. Because if you're going downhill on life's skateboard, it can be easy to hit the bottom and bail. But and going up the hill, you'll have to carry your board. But anyway, yeah, it's just my morning thoughts. Just, experiencing life. My next thing is going to be to experience something else and. My hands dirty. Take care, everybody.